All right, cousins, gonna shift gears. I just had some other G's that would have probably knocked you down, but I could always come back and do them. This one is George Lamond, Bad of the Heart, the remix in 1990. This is, so he was on Lagosa Records, which was Mark Liggett and Chris Barbosa. Chris, extremely dear personal friend of mine. At the time, Herb Powers, right there, legendary engineer, was remastering this, and there was the remix that George had done. And I went to mastering with Chris, and Herb Powers actually showed me through the binocular type thing how the grooves were being cut and all this kind of stuff. And this is the actual acetate from that day, which Chris was nice enough to give me. He knew I collected these things in test pressings. And yeah, a lot of stuff happened at that record release party when George was signed to Columbia, and great times right there. But as you see, cousins, I go all formats. There's not, you're going to see Sammy Davis acetates, Run DMC, Zeppelin. I just showed you Ghostface Killer. You got Gonzalez. It's, the archive is crazy. But this is, I was very close with George at the time as well. But as I said, Chris Barbosa was my man, and those guys Chris and Mark don't get a fraction of the credit that they deserve. Yo Little Brother, the Shannon stuff, Jimmy Tunnel U-Turn, one of my favorite all-time records. Just incredible stuff. Mark had done Video Burnout by Little Tony Marsh years, by himself before he got with Chris. Chris was just, they were just an incredible, talented duo, and they created a sound. I mean, it's not freestyle. I can't stand when people say it's not freestyle. It was electro. It was post-disco. It was in that weird spot when it was like people didn't know what was going on. Like, how are you going to classify these records? But Chris and Mark definitely had their sound. At the same time, Arthur Baker was doing his thing. It was a very rich time in music, unlike what we're experiencing right now with dance and house and whatever the hell you want to call it. So, all right, cousins, I'm just trying to give you little edits of what goes on in the brain.